My mom told me not to talk to strangers on the internet, but I'm glad I didn't listen. We are the Certified Nunas, your sisters in the love of Asian entertainment.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
I'm Jessie.
I'm Natalia.
And I'm Sky.
And today we are talking about a powerhouse in the music soloist industry in Korea, the one, the only, Sunmi. However, before we get into the discussion of how great she is and how much... I know I like her. I don't know about anyone else's opinions, but what's everyone been listening to?
I feel like I need to start off with like a mini apology because last month I mentioned this collab between XBF and Blue called Candle and how great it was and how I looked into the rest of all their music and like nothing compared to it, nothing sounded like it, and like we finished recording and like the next day XBF released another song and it was really, really good. And so I was like, oh, well, fine. Okay,
put it out
make me a liar. Yeah. He was like, I'll show you. And anyway, it's called Transparent Ring and it's really pretty. So good job, Mr. XBF. There was new music from Crucial Star and Lyman and Woody, and Cozy Pop put out another one of those mix albums of a whole bunch of different people, and all of it's good. So, as usual, I love Any Song by Zico. I've been listening to that a lot and watching a lot of those challenge videos.
Yeah,
like, they're so cute. The super cute one with the actor and actress with Kim Min Jae and the actress he's coupled with on Dr. Romantic 2. Like, they're so cute. They're just so cute.
I think what's interesting is there have been, like, Chinese actors that are doing it, too. Like, it's cool how far the challenge went.
Branched into, like, American, like, media has started picking it up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's really weird. Like, they don't really know what, like, it is. They just know that it's, like, a new, a viral trend. Yeah.
They don't know who Zico is.
They don't know. Was Thai actors, like some Thai actors doing it. It was the first one that I saw. So it's just cute and fun, and the song is such a bop, and it's so, like, it's just so catchy and addictive, and like.
But it's a sad song.
I always want to give is like, if someone's gonna go watch the music video, I'm like, that little dance is not in the music video. Like,
yeah.
If you're looking for the dance, just watch the little viral videos. That's the only place you're gonna.
Yeah. But the song is fun.
Yeah.
SF9 had a new release, and I really, really, really love Like the Hands Held Tight on it. It's one of the, like, not one of the songs that they're campaigning on, or however you word that, but it's really pretty. Really, I really enjoy it. I have my playlist on Spotify, and I'll put it on shuffle, thinking, like, if something comes up that I don't really like, I'm taking it off and I'm not talking about it. And, like, every time it came up, I was like, oh, I love this so much. Who is this? Oh, yeah, right, okay. And then I got a bunch of, like, Spotify just giving me brand new stuff, like, brand new. Like, these people, they've only got, like, one song on Spotify at all. But guy named Noah with a song called Lights Up. Really fun, lovely voice. Look forward to hearing more. Ian, spelled E-I-A-N. And again, great voice. And somebody, an act called Stable. And the song is called The Baddest Day, and it is like the goodest song. I love it so much. I just have, I've had it on repeat quite a bit, and it's just kind of mellow, kind of chill, but again, I look forward to hearing more from them. So that's been pretty much it. That and, Sunmi and Wonder Girls and,
Yeah.
Yeah. How about you, Jessie?
So first I wanted to talk about Day 6 news, because two of the members of Day 6 have been, like, branching out and doing stuff, and I really want to mention it because they're really great little projects, especially, like, just for them in general. So Jay has like a solo project that he's doing under his like name Eej, which is just EAJ backwards. It's like a total like him just trying to find himself. He was having a lot of like struggles with stuff. He's talked about this in a Insta Live, but he was having a lot of struggles with depression and just like the transition from like off stage being of Day 6 and like trying to find himself again and trying to find like a creative outlet. So he's kind of using this project as that way for him to do stuff. And so he's experimenting with lots of stuff and with lots of people. They're snippets. They're not like super long things, and they're also not part of like JYP or anything. So it's been releasing it on his YouTube channel, and I think he got a SoundCloud just recently to put up the songs. And so he's released 2 of the songs so far. They're actually really good, and they're gonna vary in genre. Young K is doing not like new stuff, but he had talked about that he was trying to like get better at like being able to carry a song. So he's doing covers now and putting it on like their actual JYP YouTube channel. So he's got one up too, and he's been recording a lot while he's just like been on their tour. So those are the 2 like Day 6 news that like started to happen, and like new stuff that's like outside of their Day 6 stuff, and it's like really cool. I think it's really great. I like to see musicians kind of branch out, because I think it only helps them. Not only like it helps them in terms of like mental health, but also in just like helping them grow as artists, and like it will eventually help Day 6 as well. So I think that was really cool. 3 of my like favorite or kind of like top favorite Japanese artists came out with albums this month. First is King Gnu. I love King Gnu. They came out with their full album Celebration. I think it's really good. There's a lot of the singles that they had already posted last year, but there's some new stuff. Also, Superfly came out with their new album. Superfly is really cool because they're just like kind of really like, they're not pop, but they're also not rock. It's kind of more like, I would consider them more kind of folky. They've definitely, a lot of their like older stuff has like kind of more influence, like that kind of folky hippie like 60s vibe to it. This album is definitely not very like, it's not upbeat or anything, or like it has some upbeat songs, but it's kind of more just like a chill music to put in the background.
Yeah, I was intrigued that when I looked at Wikipedia for them that it was like, oh, they're a rock act. And I was like, I mean, I saw that in some of the songs, but I was like,
yeah.
I think not always, I guess.
I think, yeah, if they're like, if I would consider them rock, it would be more like classic rock.
Yeah.
Like a little bit more subdued rock, like soft rock. So yeah, but they're not like Japanese pop either, too. So that's where it kind of like lies. And it's a female-led front person. So
her voice is amazing.
Yeah, she's got a really good voice. If you watched the J-drama that I watched last year, which was the Overtime show, they do the theme song for that, and they've also done other theme songs and stuff like that. So they're like a well-known group in Japan too. And then also Real came out with her album. Real is cool. She's like more electronic J-pop. I got into her probably at the beginning of us making these music podcasts. But if you're into that kind of like more upbeat dance, really J-pop, like really what you would hear in an anime, Real is very good. And this new album is really good. Yunha came out with the song 26, and I really, really, really like it. It was recommended to me on Spotify, I think in the new release section. But it's just a really nice song. Also, TK I'll never ever be able to pronounce their Japanese group name because it's just like it's such a weird, the way that you pronounce it is so weird that my brain, it's not weird, but it's like my brain can't handle it. It's like not, it's like the hardest Japanese that you could ever think of. It's just like this, like, I can't do it. So, but if I say TK and you know who they are, you know who I'm talking about. He came out with a single that he actually did for the opening of an anime called Pet. And it's like something about butterflies. It's really cool. It's kind of more J-rock, the like J alternative J-rock, and I really like it. I also really liked Super Junior's I Think I Japanese version too. Like and it was really, really good.
And there was an element of that music video that I really enjoyed. If you haven't
Yes.
seen it and you know what my name on Twitter is, just go watch it and you'll
Yeah,
know
go watch it.
immediately
Yeah, I think if you
what I'm
like,
talking about.
if you liked I Think you'll like this, but I don't know. I just like, I thought the song actually lent well to being in a Japanese version. Also, I don't know, did we talk about Tuzi last month?
I don't think so. I think
think
I think
so.
this
So-
is this month. No, I've been trying to look like a lot of the stuff. Yeah, a lot of the stuff that's happened recently has been this past month that we haven't talked about.
Okay, so I know Sky has listened to Tuzi.
Oh yeah,
right?
I'm
Yeah,
all
yeah, okay. They're a new group. They're a new idol rock group or like band group. They're adorable, and they're also I think they're really good. I think their debut song, which is My First Hero, was really good for a debut. They're very young too, like
Yes.
tiny, but like they're a cute little band. And one of our like resolutions was to get more into, bands and idol bands and stuff. And then they came around, and I think they're really cute, and they're definitely worth a listen, especially if you like N Flying. I think they're gonna like N Flying, and like, who else? I know they remind me of someone else too. Like, it's not like super like rock like Day 6. I think it like gets a little bit more poppier. But yeah, I think that's it in terms of music. What about you, Natalia?
Oh, well. I'm gonna be real. I've just been listening to the same shit I always listen to. I've just been working a lot, so I just put on like the playlist. But by recently I mean I've had it for 2 weeks, got a Google Home speaker thing. So I'll just go, I'm not going to say really loud because it'll probably turn on, but hang on, play K-pop, and it'll put on these random K-pop lists. So whatever comes up on those lists is what I've been listening to, and it is a mixed match. Some of it is not even K-pop, and I'm just like, yo, skip please, thank you. But yeah, other than that, listen to my usual nonsense. I'm listening for some reason. I've been in like sad girl hours, so I've been listening to a lot of Taylor Swift recently. You know how it gets sometimes.
As one does.
And then she has that new documentary coming out on Netflix, so I'm like, okay, I'll like listen to it before I watch the documentary, whatever. My usual, my boys. EXO, Monster X, Day 6. I got a new Astro album, so I've been listening to Astro. Yes, very exciting. I was hoping for a Moonbin PC, but I didn't get one. But that's okay. They're all beautiful, valid boys, so I'm happy.
I reached behind her.
Yeah, I don't think, I was trying to remember because I got mine this past week. I don't think I got Moonbin either.
Womp womp. The Blue Flame album?
Yeah, but I got the blue one, not the tan one.
I got the tan one. It's beautiful. It's real pretty. I like how it has like the little magnet door, but that's not like really related. Oh, I actually didn't even notice that sorry, this is a total side note. When you open the flap, there's like a little thing written. When they opened the book, a bluish light covered all the boys.
Okay, so the story behind that was, it was the very, very first teaser they put out for the entire concept. So what they were going to do is they recorded all of the boys like saying parts of that phrase. But MJ sounded so weird when they did that they ended up sticking with Inwoo's stuff because his voice was the best narration.
Yeah,
but
so this is who I got.
Aww.
Cute boy. I like that I came with 2. Very generous. Oh yeah, and I also got this beautiful little ginger bookmark.
Your bookmark.
Yeah.
I like when they give bookmarks.
I do too.
Didn't you get like a postcard too?
Oh, yeah.
That's always what I actually want.
Sorry,
is a small group picture. Like that's what I.
Oh wow.
With this nice group picture and this other nice photo.
Yeah. Nice.
Of Jinjin. He's so handsome.
I'm pretty much like a mini group poster. Like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I don't like when it comes with the big posters, because like when an album comes with the big posters, usually it's like folded, and then I can't hang it because it bothers me that there's like folds in it. So like most of my albums, like especially the soloist ones, they all come with like posters, but they're folded. And so I'm like, well, I'm never gonna hang this poster. It's got creases in it, and I'm, I don't like I say that as my backdrop has billions of creases in it, but this is temporary and no,
you're not looking at it.
Yeah, I'm not staring at this picture of cactuses. Anyway, yeah, like I just listen to the same stuff all the time. I'm no fun. I've been listening to the new Super Junior stuff though, because like they're my bros. Yeah. And who else had? Oh, and ATs. Yeah, I've been endlessly. And my boys, AT, my sweet precious babies. I just want to give them a hug. Anyway, what about you, Sky? You've probably been listening to much more creative and new things than I have.
Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't know how to start off on that. So I have been watching at least the first week and a half or so. I was trying to keep up on the music shows that ATEEZ was going on. So that usually exposes me to a little bit more of stuff I maybe wouldn't usually stumble on or quite as much. So one that a song and an artist that I have heard this. So the story is there's a meme out there on Twitter that people will take little cute videos of K-pop kids, and it's about colors. Like, I'll be red, I'll be blue.
I can be yellow, I can be yellow.
Yeah.
That song is Colors by Stella Jong. And she, randomly on one of the music shows, she performed her song. And it's all in English. And she mixes her voice. She does one of those, and I don't know the term for that instrument, that records the voice and then it loops back. And so she sings with herself. So she live recorded her voice with herself. It was just really cool. And so I was like, she's really awesome. So
I love her.
Colors is actually a song. It's a cute song. Go check out.
It's not just your idol, a little video.
Like, go check it out. I encourage everyone to go look, because she was really cool. Watching her loop her voice, like when people do that type of thing live, and I've seen other people do that in person too, but I think it's really neat when soloists do that with an instrument and their voice. So it's a lot of skill to like mix in live.
Yeah.
Very, very, they have a song called Lay Back, and the music video does like clone vibes, just like EXO and ATEEZ and whoever else is doing clones right now. Very, very
Clones, they're so hot in 2020.
Clones, 2020 trend.
SF9, Good Guy, they got their first, second, third winning now. I don't even know. So good for them. They hadn't had a win yet, and so they needed to get that. So it's really good. And Good Guy, like the concept is very, kind of feels Kingsman Suits, that type of thing. There's this girl group. I feel like, what's the story on them? I think it's a comeback. I don't think they debuted, but I do think they debuted a couple of members. They got up to 8 members. So ANS is the name of this girl group. And I think it stands for something, but I don't remember now. In my brain, they're like a ATEEZ adjacent group. Not necessarily because they're that style of music exactly, but they had an album called Wonderland, and then their newest song that I saw them perform was called Say My Name. So it was like, and I know that like do that all the time, but even their costumes for Say My Name they were very reflective of a couple of the ATEEZ costumes. So it was just kind of funny to me that, and a little bit of their tone is similar to ATEEZ. So I think ANS is a pretty cool new girl group. There's this group called B of U, or BOY. They're a duo. They used to be in a Teen Top, I think, or something like that together. They were in a different group together that I think doesn't exist anymore. And if I'm wrong, I'm sorry. I can't remember off the top of my head. My Spotify playlist doesn't inform me of all that information. But,
you don't get what? Your Spotify doesn't give you the rundown of the history of every singer that it puts on a playlist.
You can go to their like artist page.
Believe it or not, I have looked into them. I'm just spacing right now.
No, you don't need to know everything about it. Okay.
You're not an encyclopedia. You're okay.
The song My Angel, it's pretty darn good, and they had some really good choreography and stuff. I thought the music video was pretty neat. I really liked it. 2Z has already been mentioned. I think they're pretty good. Two of my Ace boys, they released an OST for the new K-drama The Game. The song is and it's really, really nice. They have really good vocals, so it's a good listen.
I like Ace. They're so cute, and they're just talented little boys.
I feel like they're going to get a comeback. A couple of them just dyed their hair.
That's usually an indication that something is coming.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like when you see the leader
do it because they're bored.
The leader go from like black hair to blonde hair suddenly, you're like
well, I have no proof of this.
It's usually like, oh, they just filmed a music video and they'll be coming back in a few weeks. That's usually what that feels like. Side note for Ace though, BK or Byung Kwan, he is now the host for Pops on Soul, which is a little show that I don't know how many times it airs in a week, but a few times a week at least. And he's not a native English speaker, but I think he might have gone to school in Canada for a little bit. Again, if I'm getting this wrong, I'm sorry. I probably got somebody confused with him, but he's a pretty decent English speaker. So it's an English show. And so though he's not native to speaking English, he hosts completely in English, and he does a really good job and cute. And then he also, because like Felix from Stray Kids, who is a native English speaker, like he was the host before him. So the host, they do cool little things, but they also end up they show the watchers how to do cover dances for popular songs at the time. So like he just did ATEEZ's new song, or he just did Psycho last week. So I mean, it's pretty cool that he gets to do all that stuff. So it's neat. And that's all my stuff.
I've got to break in because I missed someone on my list, and I am like desperately sorry because Xion came out with a solo, and I need to talk about it because it's so good. Xion from Dreamcatcher, she's the first one to actually come out with an actual solo. They've done like special videos where it's just like them doing covers and stuff like that, but she actually like took part in composing and producing the song, and so this is like the first full solo single that Dreamcatcher has put out, and it's really great. It's called Paradise. You should all go watch it like 40 times for me. I need you to do this because it needs more views. Please.
Do you know if she's promoting on music shows or not? Do you happen to know?
I don't know. Do they do it separately if it's a digital single? Because it is a digital single. It's not an actual copy.
I do think for instance, I haven't seen Zico around on shows, but that doesn't, I don't know.
Yeah. See, like, I don't know those things. I would assume probably not, because I think they're prepping for a comeback, Dreamcatcher is. So I don't think that is a thing. But it is not just on Dreamcatcher's webs or their YouTube. It's on 1TheK too. So it's at least that big. It's not on Spotify yet in like here. I have it saved, but it like, because I'm in America, it's like, nope, you can't listen to it on Spotify. So I've just been replaying the YouTube video. I was there. It literally premiered last night, 10 o'clock my time, and I was there, ready for it.
But it's really pretty.
It is really pretty. She's got a really good voice. So.
And she's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Not that,
Does it matter?
Matters, but
if it matters to you, so you'll go watch it, sure.
Since the music video is a visual thing, she is pretty in the music video.
And it's literally just her, so it's not like a super produced music video. It's just her singing.
There isn't a ton going on other than her being pretty and singing well, but it's a very pretty music video, so go watch it. Go watch it a lot for Jessie.
Please.
Yeah. Stan Dreamcatcher.
Oh, yeah, please. If you don't stand Dreamcatcher, we have a whole episode on that. You can go listen to it, and then you can stand
there's
it.
There's people who stand Dreamcatcher and people who don't know that they stand Dreamcatcher yet. Those are the two people in this world.
That's it. That's all I need.
That's it. That's all. So, this week, our artist of the month, as it were, picked by random draw, actually, is the one, the only, Sunmi. She's hilarious. She's fun. I don't know, man.
I love her vibe.
Yeah.
Her vibe is super, super great. Well, let's do a little background information on the one, the only Sunmi. Or Lee Sunmi. She's younger than all of us, but who really isn't? But not, to be honest, like, she's only like 5 years younger than me, so it's really not, that young. She's born in 92, and she debuted in 2007 with Wonder Girls.
Yeah.
And stayed with them for 3 years, and then left to go to college.
Mm-hmm.
Good for her.
Mm-hmm.
Education is important, And then she came back after 3 years and became a soloist in 2013. And then she just, kept going. In 2015, she continued promoting with Wonder Girls, and they disbanded in 2017. Then she left JYP and made her own entertainment company, and then put out 3 bangers in a row. 2018. Gashina, Heroine, and Siren. Absolute friggin' mwah. Just, oh yeah. Like...
And it also should be noted, when she went back into Wonder Girls, it's when they started to do the band concept, so she was the bassist for Wonder Girls. Yeah. They did some really good songs in that, time period, and I really liked them then. I mean, I liked them before, but, that music direction was really, I was like, yes, this is it, and then they went away.
Now, see, I never listened to Wonder Girls until recently, but I've been listening to Sunmi since she went to her own entertainment company, so for the past couple of years, and God, I'm in love with her. She has these music videos. I have to talk about her music videos because I feel they're very close to my heart in a certain way, because they're a very deconstructive music video where they seem on the surface to be like your typical sexy girl, sexy dancing. But then when you actually pair up what's actually happening and look at the lyrics and stuff, you see that most of her music videos are this wonderful deconstruction of the male gaze. And it's just so good. She's the sort of I don't want to bash my mom, but my mom is not very good at looking through the surface of entertainment things. So she'd be like, why is she just, she's just playing on her sexuality. And I'm like, yes, exactly. She is. But but to mock it. To mock men. Not.
Yeah, a lot of her facial expressions and stuff, tell a lot of her story.
Yeah, and she's not, afraid to do anything. She doesn't get embarrassed, to do that sort of thing, to be weird or, off the wall with her stuff.
But you can kind of tell when she's doing the variety shows and stuff that the male hosts are not getting it.
Yeah,
they never do.
Just
they
all
never
they talk,
do.
I was watching the Idol Room, and it was just you're so sexy, everything's sexy, 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 and she's like, okay. She
that was
just
awkward.
Very
she's
sure.
If I
okay.
Sure,
They're
that's what you saw.
We're gonna do this sexy game, and she's like,
See, I think that's why she's actually so popular with women, because women are in on the joke.
Yeah.
And men don't know that they are the joke.
Yeah, just
you know what I mean?
over their heads.
Just completely, because all they see is pretty girl tight shorts. And meanwhile, women are like, oh, you go girl. And also, she's very active on social media, and she is very good at English. So she does actually reply to, and she's
good at one-liners too, or she does this thing where she'll say something, and I honestly don't think she meant it as really funny, but it's just the way that she does it. It's just so funny that you just her entire timeline is pure gold.
She's wonderful, and she's she supports the LGBTQ community. She's she's just so wonderful. I just really like her. Just as a person, I just genuinely think that she's great. I must admit, on that Idol Room one, I did enjoy when she called her brothers, though. And the hosts were trying to get them to tell her that she was pretty, and her brothers were like, yeah, no one thinks you're pretty. One of them is like, if you had to pick between your girlfriend and your sister, who would you pick? And the brother's like, my girlfriend, obviously. Out of here. But No, so but you can tell that like she has a good relationship with her siblings and like
she does. There's a big reason why she has because of her growing up. She only had her father, and her father was really sick. So she literally, from like age 10, was the sole parent to her brothers. And that's why she started to become an idol, because she was just trying to find the job that would give her like the money fastest. So she basically raised them.
Yeah, and she banked on, you know, her own image to support her family. And kudos to that. That now that her family is now grown, and they're all having their own lives, she can now deconstruct her own image in a parody sense. And it's beautiful to watch. And her songs are just so good. Like, okay, I like the Wonder Girls, don't get me wrong. Like, their music, it's fun and cute and very JYP. Very JYP girl. Okay. But her solo stuff is so good. Like, oh. And then she'll like do these collab stages. There was one that she did with Seulgi from Red Velvet and Daewoo from 101. Now, what's his new group?
Is it AB6?
AB6? AB6? AB6? Anyway.
That's my guess. Sorry if I got it wrong.
We don't know. The one that the ex-members of 101 made. You know that group. That one. Where they performed.
Or the other one. Whichever one it is.
Where they performed together, and it was like really great because you got the sense. So, as like a little background, Daewoo, I'm not gonna presume his sexuality, but were I to guess, I would say he's incredibly gay. Like, you know, he just has, you know,
he presents effeminately.
Yes, very much so, and so he gets a bit of flack for that. Which I think is terrible because whatever, present how you want to present. But like his performance with them, you could tell that's why she asked him to do it. And it is,
she's just good because she's like an actual performer. Like she's not just a singer. Like she actually is doing a performance, and it's not just like her singing her songs.
And when it comes to her choreography, and it's not, I don't have a background in dance or anything, but as far as, I feel like she almost toes the line into modern dance.
Very much so.
To where, you know, sometimes they'll be like, oh, that's typical, like, girl soloist dancing, but then she really steps into, like, oh, that feels modern all of a sudden. And it's incredibly interesting, and so you can tell there's more of a message to it, the way she does perform the message of her songs, and it's pretty neat.
She also, you can tell, has a very good relationship with her backup dancers.
Yeah.
There's especially this one male backup dancer that has been in all of her songs that she accidentally hits constantly on stage. Like, in the middle of dancing, she'll smack him in the face by accident. And, like you can see her trying not to laugh and him trying not to laugh. And it's just, like, you can tell, like, oh, these guys are, like, friends. Like, this is nice. Yeah. Yeah, that always makes me laugh. Just her just smacking. It's like there'll be a turn and she'll just like whack him across the face, hit him with her hair, something.
I do hope that like in this year and stuff she'll be able to make more music because solo-wise she doesn't have a ginormous discography.
No.
And I mean she has huge hits, but it's like no, we need more music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and she did do
more B-sides and stuff.
She did do a pretty successful tour through the States in 2018. That went pretty well. So it's like people like her, you know?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, she's super popular in Korea. Like everybody knows Gashina, or like and knows the dance. Like
like that feels like one of the dances of that year. Like that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. There were so many, like, dance covers, and you can find all kinds of little combinations of, like, male idols doing Gashna and stuff. But usually, like, they burst into laughter when they're doing it and stuff. The best one I saw was the one from the unit when those two members of ACE did Gashna as part of their thing, and they were so good. Like, it was really, really tight, and they didn't, I don't know, you find a lot of the times when the male idols were doing it, they would do it with a serious face, but then they'd start laughing, like, ooh,
Yeah,
I was being too girly, or something. And they just, like, sold it through the whole thing. It was so good.
Side note, Stan Ace, they're, like, really good.
They're great. Stan Ace is really good. But see, like, that's actually interesting because that just proves her point even more, and she's not the one having to prove it. So, like, she has a message to get out, but she's doing it so subtly that only the women know it's a message. Like, sneaky. She's like, this is not for you, men. This is for the women and the gays. Get out of here. Get out of here, straight men. You're not involved in this.
No boys allowed. She'd just be, like, so much fun to hang out with. Like,
she seems
genuinely
incredibly down to earth.
Like down to earth, and but also, like, genuinely good person. Like, she'd be really, like, sincerely a good friend. Like, you could, like, have as, like, someone, like, you could probably trust. She really is into, like, the earth and, like, our connection to the earth. Like, hardcore, like, since she's, like, debuted. Like, I mean, you can find every interview that she's, like, talked about, even to, like, now, she would talk about it. Like, people be talking about how she's, like, in the dressing room, and then, like, she makes a connection to, like, the costumes, the earth, and how we're all combined, and, like, goes on these whole
We're
things.
all one. We're all connected.
You're like, that seems right. That seems fitting.
I think that's, like, part of what sort of draws me to her, because I do that shit, too. Like, half the time I'm joking, but most of the time I'm not, so...
One thing I was watching her in, she was like, and so they asked, like, what have you been into recently hobby-wise? And she's like, well, I've mostly just been thinking about time and our relation to it and if it exists. And I'm like, girl!
You're like, no, she actually is thinking about that. And she's not just saying it to say it.
Yeah, like, that's awesome. Like, and then be like, not only that she does that, but, like, being willing to be real and say that that's her thing. Because you can tell that hosts have no idea what to do with that. They're like,
oh,
that's
okay.
Sure.
Because, she could say something super cute, like, I like cooking, which is totally fine to like cooking. But, like, the fact that she's open enough about, like, no, this is what I actually, like, dwell on.
She sort of reminds me a bit of, like, this is going to sound really weird, but those in the know what I'm talking about. She reminds me a bit of Kesha in that way. Yeah. Where it's, like, people expect Kesha to be this, like, stereotypical dumb blonde, but they'll, like, be interviewing her, and she'll be like, yeah, I was reading, like, bell hooks recently, and I'm really involved in this concept of, like, performative feminism, blah, blah, and you're just like, what? But,
no, yeah, definitely.
Yeah. They have, like, the same vibe if you're...
Sunmi also has, like, this weird dimension to her, but she's not performing that. She's just being herself. And so, like, again, sometimes hosts are like, oh, you're so cute and weird, and she's like, I'm just being me, whatever.
Like though. Like, what I sort of like about it is that since she became a soloist, especially when she started her own company, right, for just her, she's been allowed to sort of shake off the stereotypical idol image that they want people to maintain, right? Which is, listen, we've heard me rant about this before. It's untenable. You gotta give it up. Let people be people. Like, they're giving you art, not their lives. But it's really nice to see someone, especially a woman, because you know that the standards are so much higher for women than they are for men, to just be able to just be herself and, like, do what she wants to do rather than have to perform as a plasticized version of herself. So it's I think that's why I like her so much. Like, I don't know, like, she's like gaming the system in the most effective and fun way that I've ever seen.
And still making money off of it.
And that's the joke, right?
Right.
Is
that's the cool part.
She's still making tons of money off of these people who aren't in on the joke. So it's like, hey, she comes out the winner either way. Half the people who support her are in on the joke and want to support her in that joke, and the other half don't realize that they're the joke and still give her money. So she comes out on top.
It's nice, like, the one interview that I was watching, I can't remember what show it was. It was on the, like, Kokawa, like, clips or whatever. And just, they were talking about stuff, and she was saying how she makes a conscious effort not to use the word love in her songs because she knows that pushes certain fans in a certain direction, and it makes them think that she's singing that she loves them and stuff, and she's like, and I don't, so I'm not singing that.
She's like, listen, we're just friends.
Yeah.
Platonic
and then
relationship.
let me draw the line here, my dude.
And she
we're just buddies, like
continues, right? And she continues to talk about, but like when I date for a long time, and I have like, and she's talking about her relationships and stuff, and they're like, oh, so we know if we hear you sing about love, it probably means you're in a relationship. She's like, maybe, but
maybe,
like,
but who knows?
That's not your business. Like, you know,
whatever.
You'll never catch
me. It's kind of nice to hear, to have like a female idol, as it were, like to be there talking about dating and it being okay, and nobody's going like, oh, she's talking about dating. They're just like, okay, you're a human being who's, you know, an adult, and you date, and okay, cool, let's discuss that and how that affects your art and how that affects your life, like, because that's what normal people do. They put their relationships and their art in ways, you know, like, it was
there's
cool.
always like especially for artists and performers, there's always an intersection of the personal and the public, but I think that it's really important, and what I really enjoy that she's emphasizing, that fans need to not get caught up in a strange delusion of their own mind that the private is what they're paying for, because they're not. This will come up later on the podcast. This may have bearings on things that have been happening recently in the Korean entertainment world. So yeah, like, I like that she's sort of she's good at drawing the line, but I think that's mostly because she's at her own company and she can do whatever the hell she wants. And
because if you look at her age as an artist, she's still, you know, she's still in her 20s. And the fact that she's able to talk about that stuff, like, that's almost unheard of as a female.
Yeah.
Like, they don't get to do that very often, especially as women. Like, usually that's pretty much censored out in a way. Like, they don't get to ask those questions, or if they get asked those questions, they have to definitely, like, not answer them, essentially. Like, don't even go there.
I think it's also that she just has a lot of respect from people. Like, I feel like JYP, like, legitimately respects her and her as a human being, and like I feel like he probably did that even like when she was still there at the company, especially like I personally didn't read anything about that it was an issue for her to come back after education and immediately get a solo there. Like there was no, you know, backing or like stopping of her to get back to that thing, and she still has a good relationship with JYP. So I feel like everybody that she's worked with, they feel comfortable and know what type of person she is. So, like, they just respect her a lot and understand.
I think that it was probably also very lucky for her that the company that she did go to was JYP.
Probably.
Because if it had been one of the other companies, she would have not had the same freedom of expression as she does. Because, you know, say what you will about JYP. Is he perfect? No. But is he the CEO of the big companies that respects his artists as people the most?
Yes.
Sure, seems like it.
Okay, like P Nation. Okay, P.
Well, they're not as big.
That's new. But
if you're talking the big dogs.
This is the big, the big dudes. So
especially like second generation.
Yeah,
person, you know.
So like he's the one. I'm not giving him that much credit for her, like, because obviously she's talented in her own right.
Yeah.
But in terms of allowing his artists the freedom to be their own people, you're gonna get the most luck at JYP. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want this to become the JYP show, but he let them roast him.
Oh yeah.
So much, and he did not get in any sort of trouble. So you can sort of tell that he probably has a good relationship with his artists.
I think the fact that she still talks to him like regular, to this day, I think speaks to something. I mean, I know he's not like
nicely, like, there's no apparent bad blood over her leaving and stuff. They're still friendly as far as we can tell.
Yeah, they don't have to call each other, yet they do, and they talk about it on show. So,
but I mean, like, it's mostly her, like, roasting him for his latest solo. She was just on him the entire time.
So, who wasn't roasting him for that, though?
It was ridiculous, but it was catchy. It was cute.
Well, I think that's what defines everything he puts out is this is ridiculous, but I kind of want to dance to it, you know? It's just his vibe. She's wonderful. Any individual would be lucky to date her.
And I said it earlier, and her discography isn't that big, but the nice thing about that right now is if you haven't looked into her, it's really easy to go listen to all of her solo
time
music.
Commitment.
Like, it's really, really simple, so checking it out. Yeah. We need to talk about our favorite songs.
Yes. She's real easy to stand, so.
She really is.
You should add her to your list of people you love. Yes, favorite songs. Let's see. Let's hook us up. Hook us up, ladies.
My favorite stuff is her older stuff. I really like the Full Moon album. Like, I really like it. It's hard for me to pick, like, one. But, I'm gonna, I don't know. I'm looking at 3. I'm gonna go with the one that has the English title. So I'm gonna go with Burn. Burn's my favorite. Sure. We'll say Burn is my favorite. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I like also enjoy the older stuff, and that's only because, like, I still like her newest stuff and still play it all the time. It's just now she kind of does, like, more, like, Europop sound, and when she was at JYP, she was doing R&B, and that's kind of my, like, thing, especially in female soloists. I really like R&B. Full Moon and, like, 24 Hours, those are, like, good songs that have, like, kind of that R&B vibe, so that's why I tend to go with it. But if I was going for, like, newer stuff, I really like Noir.
Noir is really good. And the music video for Noir.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one that's the most obvious, like, you're not in on the joke, fellas. Like, that's the music video that makes it that's the closest that they would come to be obviously told that. My favorite is Heroin.
Oh, Heroin.
That's mine, too.
It's so good. That was the one that she performed with Daewoo and Seulgi, and you should look that up. I think it was at the KBS Music Festival. It's one hell of a stage. So, but no, just the song is, it's so good. It's so good. I just, but like, to be honest, I like literally every single song on her newer albums and her older albums too. But Heroin, it just speaks to me somehow.
So Heroin's my favorite too, and I think because it kind of has some epic feeling vocals to it, which to me is like my thing with songs. Like, I really like kind of soaring vocals, and so it kind of that's the way they had made that song. So that's why it got me a little bit more than the others. But I mean, I love the others too, but Heroin, that's why I was like, oh, that's it for me. Like, knew it.
Oh, for Full Moon, she has a collab stage with Taecyeon. You should watch that. That's actually really good too. His voice is really good for the rap part in that song. That's a good collab show.
And he's always a fun collab. Yeah. Like,
I mean, it's all gonna be good, but like legitimately, his like rap style and his rap voice is good for that song.
Now we're gonna go into a little K-pop news segment, and I need to set the stage for you all about a panic attack that I almost had. So I was just sleeping in, like I do, enjoying my life. Okay.
You went to bed early.
I went to bed early. And I was very tired, so I
usually don't
slept.
Go to bed early.
I usually go to bed at like 2 a.m. ish, maybe 2 to 3, and then I wake up at like noon, and then that's like my day. But that day I went to bed at like 10, okay, and then
it was a mistake.
Which was it was a mistake for my mental health. And then I woke up at like noon. I was like, I think I was still sick, so I was like still recovering, and I had 91 Twitter notifications. And then I'm like, holy shit, what happened? I open Twitter, and the first thing I see is a tweet with me tagged in it that said from Sky that says, "Where is Natalia? She needs to know what happened to Jongdae." Now, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. So, as you might
I don't
know,
think I worded it like that. Now I'm gonna go look it up because I don't think I said
it was something sort of similar to that.
But to be fair, like, she did it thinking that you would just respond like 5 minutes later at seeing the thing, not like
No, but like when
8
I
hours
wake up,
later.
when I wake up to like 91 Twitter notifications, I had like messages from everyone to me, like that is like a fellow EXO fan. Like, I was like, he died. Like, that was the first thing that happened to me, was like, he's dead.
Oh,
and I like had a
wouldn't do
panic
that to
attack.
you.
And then I had a panic attack. Okay, like I was like,
Here's the
oh no,
tweet.
oh no, oh no. And then I see he
No,
just
here's
not.
the tweet. I'm gonna quote it. Wishing I could send Soju Nights an exo signal or something to wake her up for the Jongdae news.
Yeah, okay.
And then it has a gif of Suho looking thoughtful.
But see, the gift didn't show up in my like my mentions, right? It was just, that's all I see, and I was like, oh. So anyway, like all these people were like, oh my god, like I just get these messages like, where are you? And I'm like, what? So, and then finally I see like he got some girl pregnant, and I was like, that 91 notifications, really? Guys,
Well, that was a secondary. We first responded to the like him getting married.
yeah. But I was just like, guys, don't do this to me. I thought my boy died. Like, no, my boy just is getting congratulated. So
You're
the
just
big,
really excited.
I know we were really excited, but all I felt was panic, and then I got really excited, and then I was like, it's time for the memes to come. Memes! I'm like so excited to be a K-pop aunt. So, as we know, this situation really reflected the, I'm going to call it, it's not a cultural difference, okay? The difference in expectations between Korean fans and fans literally anywhere else in the world.
Well, I mean, like
Korean fans,
20
because
Korean fans?
Yeah, 20 Korean fans.
Like, let's not throw them under the bus.
Yeah, but like there was a big backlash from a very small group of fans who were apparently enraged that a 28-year-old man had the gall to want to get married, and then so you're encountering all of these international fans who are like, yay! John's getting married, he's gonna have a baby! The baby's gonna come out singing in falsetto! Like, the baby's so cute! Like, where can we send onesies? Like, where can we send, like, flowers for the wet, like, losing it with happiness. Like, we're all like, we're gonna be K-pop aunts, we're so excited, we're gonna love this baby.
We're gonna have a baby
like,
shower, it's gonna
have a
be
baby shower. We're gonna like send him all the love. And then you have this small group of Korean fans who attempted to tell us that, well, the reason we don't understand why they're upset is because of cultural differences. And I'm sitting here like, I used to live in Asia. Let me tell you, there's no cultural difference that says a 28-year-old man can't get married and have a baby. Like, literally none. So I'm just like sitting here like, you're delusional. Like, they're mad because, like, someone else got his dick and they didn't.
That's
like,
literally what it is.
That's literally
That's
why
not
they're
a
mad.
cultural difference.
That's
Just
not a cultural
you.
difference. That's a delusion, okay? So I just need to say this, that, like, for most of the, so, like, those sad 15 people who have that sad little protest where they destroyed all of those CDs, I hate to tell you, he still got the money from those CDs that you destroyed, so he's still coming out the winner. And they're like, I think my favorite one was one being like, well, aren't you upset that, like, his money's going to, like, diapers and baby formula? And I'm like, hell no! I will personally send him diapers and baby formula, my dude.
I hope it's going to that.
I'm excited.
Because that is his job.
Yeah, that's his job. So I just need to, like, I know that there's none of these people listening to our podcast. I know that there's not for many reasons.
Talk to them.
But here's what I want to say. If you're out there and you're upset that your idol's getting married, this is a very important thing that I was discussing with my husband a lot. And I am an artist, so I'm not like a performance artist, but I feel very strongly about this. An artist, especially a performer, an actor, a singer, a dancer, whatever, they're not selling you them. They're selling you their art. So you can't expect to control what they do outside of the performance that they're giving you. Because what you are paying for, especially if we're looking at someone like Jongdae from EXO, what you're paying for is his stage performance, his musical performance, and like his variety performance. You're paying for the entertainment that he provides. You aren't paying for him for him. This is not an indentured servitude.
Yeah.
He's an artist. He's giving you a product. He is not the product. His work is the product. So don't be delusional. Separate yourself from your delusions and realize the way I sort of phrase it is this. Imagine you have a group of friends, okay? And your friends are all really supportive and they all love you and they always cheer at your soccer games or whatever the fuck you do, okay? And then you're in your 20s and you fall in love and your lover asks you to marry them. You're very excited. Then you have all of these friends that were supposedly, that have been supporting you and like ragging you on, and you go, oh, guess what? I fell in love. This person's really great. I want to get married. And then they all turn to you and go, fuck you, I hate you now. You'd be pretty hurt, right? And that seems like a really unfair reaction to, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe think about that. You know, would you want your friends to do that shit to you? No. So don't do it to your idols. Let them get married. I want EXO 2.0 with all of their babies forming a new group.
I want them all on Return of Superman. I want all the like backstage like like the one like kid comes in and like everybody's like, oh my gosh, and like
yes. Speaking of Return of Superman, Gary's coming back. Gary's coming on Return. I'm so excited. Gary. This is, you know, he was a singer, so he's a rapper, so this is K-pop related, but Gary's coming back. I am so excited. I have missed him. You know, good for him. See, there's another one. Like, good for him. He left, he got married, he had a baby. Good for him. And it turns out Gil had a secret wife and baby this whole time, too. Did anyone else?
Yeah, I saw that for like 3 years.
Whoa!
Okay.
Like, okay.
How does one do that?
How does one have a secret wife and secret baby? Well, I suppose we should ask Young-soo. Ask Daesung. Those are my favorite memes where it's like, oh, wait, we weren't supposed to tell people about our baby? Like, ooh, cool, I've been married for years now. Yeah, so maybe, you know, there needs to be more of an effort, I think, with especially, like, companies and artists themselves before they get into relationships to sort of normalize the concept that they are human and one day will want to be in a relationship unless they are asexual, which is whatever, fine, do you. But, like, you know, like, and they shouldn't apologize. For being really, that needs to stop.
Yeah, that's what like is perpetuating this.
Yeah,
it's that they feel that they are entitled to it because they've already seen that people are apologizing.
Yeah.
Like, and it's a weird concept because like it's like people want to stop like reprimanding people once they get to a certain age, but like. I mean, if you would say to a 3-year-old, stop doing that, so they would stop doing that. Just tell them too. Like it. I mean, obviously, like even after the whole thing, there were like tons of people who were just going on the street interviewing people, and like everybody was ragging on that group of people that were like mad at him. Yeah. They're all like, this is so weird. Those weird K-pop people, like
those interviews were the funniest thing.
Oh my gosh! And you're like, oh really? This is a cultural thing for you?
Date him? Like, get over yourselves, ladies. Like it was like
that YouTuber who did a whole thing, and he's like, I mean, do I love Lisa? Yeah. Am I gonna? Oh, Lisa.
Yeah.
No, I'm never gonna get her. Like he was very like, he was so funny. He was so cute.
He was. And like,
for the record,
both were like, congratulations, John Day, but not congratulations to all you idiot fans out there who are about this. Like,
for the record, the amount of people that showed up at this weird little protest was less than the amount of people in EXO as a group. I didn't come up with that. That was on Twitter. I saw it.
Yeah. I just laughed when I coughed on my own spit.
So to put it into perspective, yeah.
And couldn't even show their face.
The amount of people that showed up to that, like you think they would have looked. You think they would have looked around and been like, oh.
And just kept walking. Like I would have just kept walking.
Like just enjoy the art, man. Don't get so caught up in your emotions. Like listen, just do like the rest of us. Go write a your name insert fic and move on with your life, okay? Like, just write your steamy little one-shot on Wattpad, and then,
And then maybe go outside and take a walk.
Maybe go meet some men your own age if, you're this desperate.
Go hang out with your friends.
Yeah, get a life, get a hobby or something.
Read a book.
Take up knitting, do something.
Volunteer, there's a lot of good things.
Go meet people. Yeah, get a pet. Get a dog. Yeah, put all your emotions and love into your dog instead. Trust me, they want it more than the idols do. And just enjoy the music for what it is.
You can enjoy the music, you can enjoy the personalities and the fun. There's a lot to it that you can enjoy, but there's a line. There's a really big line. Of all the EXO kids to see a family man type.
He's the most family man. Yeah. He loves kids. Every time he encounters kids on shows and stuff, he's just oh, I just want to hug you and stuff. And you're just now my biggest surprise is that if I was to pick an EXO who would get a girl pregnant before marriage, I would not have gone with him as my first choice. I'm gonna be honest. But you look at the difference between how they're treated in different countries. For example, Lay, who hasn't been able to perform in with the Korean EXOs for quite some time because of the whole China-Korea situation. When he's out doing his thing in China, his fans are chanting, "Get a wife, get a wife." Clearly there's something going on in South Korea that breeds these types of fans that they just don't seem to exist.
You can even try to blame the marketing, but the marketing doesn't go that far.
No, it doesn't.
The marketing, there's problems with it, but not that bad.
The marketing also says they're clones too, so.
No, right.
Well, don't worry, ladies. It's only one John Day that's getting married. There's still
wait a minute,
Yen out there waiting for you. No need to be upset.
Yeah, go find Dark Chin somewhere. Go be happy.
Find Dark Chin. He doesn't want to be a family man. He just wants to get down and dirty because he's Dark Chin.
Well, this took a turn.
This took a strange. Well, of course it did. I'm involved. It took a strange.
Any other news aside from us ranting about stupid people?
Well, kind of along the same lines of stupid fan things. One of the things that happened in the last couple of weeks was when Zico had his song come out, a crazy fan of somebody else who had music come out at the same time faked racist tweets from him and racist comments and made fake screenshots of racist things he said. Now, is Zico perfect? No. However, she then, backtracked and wound up shutting down her one account and getting a new account and all this stuff. But her defense was, oh, come on, guys, it was just a joke. Well, it wasn't a joke. She did it intentionally to hurt his comeback because she wanted her fave to do well, which is a horrible, stupid thing to do. Mm-hmm. It's just bad. But to say it was just a joke, racism is not a joke. It's not something that's funny. And you are hurting people when you do stuff like that. Not just Zico and his chance at a comeback. You are hurting fans. You are hurting people who maybe really like Zico, who now are oh my gosh, that guy, I really liked him, and he is racist against me. That hurts me, right?
Yeah.
Racism is not something to joke about. It is not something to use.
Especially if it doesn't exist. This is the word,
right?
Inventing it for your own purposes. Yeah, that's pretty shitty.
It was such a, and I saw it blow up so fast, and then it was like shot down really fast too. Like it was really quick, but it spread like wildfire, and so many people were like, oh my God, but I like this song so much, and now I have to burn the internet. And you're like, no, like, wait, and then, like, if it was true, okay. Like, I'm all for let's hold people accountable, and like, I'm also for second chances and forgiveness, but like, yes, you need to make atonement and stuff.
No.
But he didn't even do it. He didn't even say it. Like, that was there. I've heard that there are other things from his past that, he's done questionable things, and has apologized for those things, and hopefully has learned and grown and moved forward. But like, he didn't do this thing. And it was just like, don't do that. Mm-hmm. Don't be that kind of fan. Don't be that kind of crazy, horrible human being, because it's not funny.
Speaking of crazy fans, don't follow your idols onto planes.
Yeah.
And harass them, please.
Speaking of lines you shouldn't cross.
Yeah. And don't attack them in airports either.
Yeah, don't grab at them. Don't. Just be cool. But you know what you can grab at? Your opportunity to sponsor this podcast by going to ko-fi.com/certified Nunas and sending us a few dollars. If you like what you hear, you want us to keep doing it, and you want to help us support us, we do not have corporate sponsors. Not through lack of trying. We just don't. So if you would like to become a sponsor, you can go to ko-fi.com/certified Nunas and help us out, and you get some behind the scenes things that get cut from episodes. You get all sorts of fun stuff, all sorts of good times over there. So anyway, that's my little. So grab at the opportunity to help a group of ladies who just want to put out good music. Don't grab at your idols. That shit ain't right. That shit ain't right. And if you see someone being shitty about idols, call them out on it. That's the very basic thing you can do.
Like, if you can't handle that conflict, which some of us have conflict issues.
Yeah.
I'm gonna admit it. Block them.
Yeah.
Unfollow. Call your buddies. Unfollow them. That type of stuff.
No.
And for the record, this is something that you hope some people know. And not everyone follows fan sites. So a fan site often is on Twitter. There's also websites. Fan sites are the people that they go and take lots of pictures, and then they usually sell products based on their photography and yada yada.
And there's good fan sites and bad fan sites.
Yeah, and even sometimes there are fan sites that they're not the ones directly taking the pictures. The people that take the pictures sell the data, yada yada. So there's actually a lot of complexities to this that I'm not going to get into. However, some fan sites are the problematic fans that you hear about, and some of them should be blacklisted, are blacklisted. So if you're supporting the fan site, be mindful, pay attention before you give them your money or your support, because I'm not saying all fan sites are bad, because they're not. There are some good ones out there. Just be smart. Just because they take good pictures doesn't necessarily mean they're doing the right thing.
Yeah.
Just like the other day, like, there was news of some idol getting to, like, yay, he's back with his group from being on leave or whatever, and there was a picture. Well, the fact that the picture was at a certain angle and taken at a certain time, that it was a pretty creepy picture to be able to be taken.
Yeah.
Like, it shouldn't have existed.
If it's not an official, like, appearance that they're making, that's not on the level. Or like the other thing is, like, if you get a selfie with an idol, you can post that. But if you just see an idol doing shit in public, don't take their
all
photo.
Idols can take pictures. JYP doesn't allow their idols to take pictures with people.
Yeah. So,
and
like,
it's also like not okay for the people at the airport. It actually is like it's a safety concern for them too. Just the workers and the just like passengers who are there trying to get on their plane. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, like, I think some groups I've seen at an airport, like they will kind of be like, here's the media time. They get their pictures taken by like the news people, like, hey, here's our outfits, cute outfits, and then leave them be. Don't touch them, leave them alone, and don't take any more pictures because you shouldn't be messing with them. And that's always in Korea. That's not like internationally. They don't have media airport time in America or something. Leave them alone. And actually, some groups have started having very specific fan site. When I say fan site, like their official fan club has had announcements. I think BTS specifically, I read, don't come to the airport. They have straight up said it. So don't do it. Like, leave them alone.
They don't appreciate it. No one appreciates it.
So on the good fan site end of things, Stray Kids were on Kelly and Ryan or whatever show that is, some Good Morning or something or other. And Kelly and Ryan were like super inappropriate with Stray Kids, like right up in their business and like no chill at all. And it was very making little cracks and stuff. And people were very frustrated and upset. And at one point they went into the audience and were like trying to pull the girls up, like, come up, be up on stage, meet your, and the one that was recorded was a fan site. And she was like, no.
Yeah,
no,
specifically
I'll stay right here. Like, she was like kind of giggling because, like, I mean, it was an embarrassing sort of situation.
Well,
and,
yeah,
like,
you have cameras in your face.
I mean, they're right there, but like, she was like, no, I'll stay right here. Like, and good for her. Like, just thank goodness it was a good fan site that was there, because a crazy one might have gone right up there and been all up in their faces and like, what?
Yeah.
Speaking of
good fan sites are usually those types of people. Like they actually, on some level, they know. Like, no, so and so has anxiety. Like, I know what's up. This isn't okay.
Yeah,
you can tell.
Speaking of newscasters being dingbats, otherwise in the news there was Jungkook got voted the most handsome man in the world. Surprise, surprise. Okay. He's a good-looking dude. Whatever. So this news thing is doing a segment on it, and they first start out by saying that he's not manly enough looking.
Was this in Russia or whatever?
I think it was in Netherlands.
Okay.
Just white people being white, saying he wasn't masculine enough to be, like, the handsomest man in the world. And then they decided to do a segment where they went out on the street with his picture to ask people if they thought that he deserved to be the most handsome man in the world, except that they brought a picture of J-Hope, not Jungkook.
Yep.
And I don't know if any of y'all are familiar at all with BTS. Probably some of you, I'm sure. They don't look anything alike.
I mean, they didn't look alike even if you had never, like, seen anything. Like, people watching that had to have looked at the picture that they showed for, like, the thing that was, like, behind them when they were talking about him being the number one, and then the picture that was they used for, like,
was
the clearly a different
clearly, like, I literally, so I have a friend who's, like, not into K-pop, and I showed her the two pictures, and first off, she's like, oh yeah, he's really good looking, and the second one after, I was like, but does he look anything like this guy? And she's like, no. I'm like, so would you think it would be incredibly racist if someone mistook these two for each other? She was like, yeah. Like, exactly. Do better, media. Like,
yeah, see, in that instance, like, I pretty much read a couple of the headlines about that clip, and I was like, I'm not watching that, because I don't want to.
I watched it. It was pathetically sad. It was pathetically sad. It was just white people up on their bullshit, as per usual.
If you can't handle that type of stuff, skip over it.
Yeah,
if you can't handle it,
just move on. Speaking of anxiety for idols, poor little Julian is on leave, on hiatus, because of it. So we're all hoping that he gets better soon and gets the medical help that he needs. And if there's anyone out there who is struggling with mental stuff, please seek out help. There's lots of, at the very least, reach out to a friend or something, but there's, lots of helplines and things you can call.
Speaking of good things, at least good things for Jesse.
Yes.
YouTube, my BFF. Remember when I told you that it was worried because I started to like Spotify more? well, it's really gunning for like the ultimate BFF position
because
the algorithm decided, hey, you know what, like video would be really great to push out? 2 p.m.'s my house. And so 2 p.m. has been like soaring in popularity again when like, you know, half the people are in the military and like, you know, tech's really the only one doing
weird.
stuff.
I like when that started happening, I was like, what?
Okay, so like it started happening a couple weeks ago because I follow a lot of hottest on like my Twitter. That's like mostly who I follow. And someone had posted a screenshot that like they had just gone to go watch the video, and they're like, there are a lot of like new comments here. And they thought it was really funny because people were like really funny. They're like, you know, like posting on like which house that they would go to out of the group, or like or like, you know, I'm so sorry that I was so young when this first came out, but now I'm not young, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So like it was this funny like joke, like everybody was talking about it, and then like just it kept on snowballing, and I guess more people kept on clicking on it because the algorithm was pushing it, and then like, you know,
That's
everybody started
hilarious.
to catch on, and like now like everybody's talking about it. I'm getting like even more 2 p.m. recommendations in my feed. The media has like picked up on it, and everyone's like, but we all knew the song was good. Where were you?
That was the first 2 p.m. song I ever heard, and I was hooked. Like,
I mean, like, it's probably because when it came, like, when this all started happening was right when Jun K came out of the military.
yeah.
So, and he wrote the song. So it was probably like, you know, there was a group of us who were like going onto like music videos and like kind of upping the views. And so people probably doing that, and it just then pushed into the algorithm and then just like snowballed, and we're all like, but like so many people are not here. And then Junho's like getting even more popular, and we're like, he's in the military right now. Like what's going on?
Well, you know what? This is all very fortuitous because Taekyeon's out and his new show is just starting. So this will probably help
next month.
Yeah. So this is probably good.
So this reminds me of what happened with Day 6.
Yes. Another. It was like a really great like Jesse's faves moment.
Yeah. So it was a little bit before the My House thing happened, right? All of a sudden there was this video. Was it in Indonesia? Like,
no, I think it was in Korea, just in a club or something.
I thought it was in a different Asian country, like altogether.
I don't know.
But it was this video of this club where they were playing Day 6's You Were Beautiful.
Yeah.
And they all had out their cell phones with the pictures of their ex singing.
I mean, it was like a full on like people. I guess they're doing like a karaoke night or something, or like a
it looked like a
big
karaoke.
Or even like a class reunion or something. It was like packed solid. People had mics. There was a screen with the like lyrics on, and people were crowd surfing. And they all had their like phones and had the pictures, and they're like, "Ya pasó."
So, because of that video going viral, that song started upping in popularity again. And like, so Jay was like, "Oh my gosh, this is crazy."
It got higher than it did when it was released. And like all of Day 6 were like, wait a minute, what? And because now all of Day 6 is on Instagram, they were all just like kind of posting, and they're like, we're just on tour. What's happening? Like they're in Europe, and they're like, we didn't do anything. We
didn't do this.
Why are we charting? What's happening?
And also, like it was like a end flying moment because also someone had posted in a message board about all the you know, chart manipulation stuff. They were like, hey, let's put people in here that you think deserve to be like looked at that aren't doing it. And someone was like Day 6, and then of course like every time Day 6 is mentioned, everybody talks about them. So then everybody was like going to like find more of their videos, and it was just like really funny because like all of the other like music videos started gaining popularity too, and we're all just like, what's going on?
But that's when social media doing fun stuff. Like, it's nice. And having your favorites like resurge in popularity when they didn't cause it.
Yeah,
like,
that's always
there's
fun.
no feeling like that.
Yeah.
And when it happened to N-Flying, I was just confused because they first came back with Rooftop when Astro was coming back. So I was watching them on music shows. And actually it was when I was just starting to get into N-Flying. And I was like, okay, they got me. Rooftop is actually what got me. But Rooftop on the first round. And so then, like, I didn't really hear much about Rooftop. I was like, oh, it was a cool song, just like any other. Like, oh, and then they kind of fall off of promotion, and such is life. That's the way it goes. And then it's like, when everyone started talking about Rooftop again, I'm so confused. They had already, like, finished promotion. Like, how does this work? And then, oh, they got their first win. I'm like, how? What is going on? And that's kind of the thing. Like, if Day 6's song had kept charting, if it had hit number 1, they would get reinvited to music shows. Like,
yeah, it would have been like huge.
Really funky. Yeah. So like, it's really interesting the way that works over there. Like, it's pretty cool. Charts are crazy, and the fact that they have like 8 different charts to pay attention to.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. Too much.
And Zico got an all kill at least once. I think he got a second one recently.
I think he did too.
And he got some wins, at least one. I know Zico, like, in the past. I'm not going to make huge statements about Zico in the past because, like, I don't know him personally. But there was a lot of ignorance in K-pop in the past. We've all seen on music videos in the past either sexism or racism or hairstyles that weren't that great or even outfits that were pretty questionable. And happily, I'm not saying it doesn't happen at all anymore, because it does. Yeah. But
less and less.
And the artists that finally get told, they try to apologize, some of them, whenever they're told. And I think Zico's at least in the group that he has apologized for some of the things in the past. Also, what people need to realize is sometimes it might not be the person themselves that came up with such and such hairstyle.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And they were a young idol, and they were just doing a concept. It was probably just applied to their body.
Yeah, they just sit in the chair, and they just get it done.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying it's not a problem, and I definitely can't make statements, whatever. But, like, sometimes it's out of the individual's control. Sometimes it's not out of the individual's control. But we need to keep in mind that, like, sometimes place the blame where it should lie.
Yeah.
But I'm saying, Zico anymore, as far as I can see, and people also bring up all the Molka stuff and whatever, but, like...
He wasn't actually involved in that. So
honestly, if he had any clue that stuff was like that bad, he wouldn't have brought it up on a TV show. Like,
yeah, like he just thought that guy was good at getting girls. That was his only comment.
All he would say.
Yeah.
And then it went downhill from there, and people started blaming him, and it's like, and
listen, I don't know what's on my friends' phones. I'm gonna be real. Like, I'm not stealing their phones to find out. So cut them some slack on that front.
Yeah.
Now we're gonna talk about things coming up in February, but unlike the past couple of months, it's a bit of a sparse tree. There's not many leaves on this tree this time. So on the first, we've got Chillin' Homie.
Chillin' Homie.
Don't know who that is.
He's delightful.
And then we got an Enfia single. And then
okay.
Wait a minute.
Okay.
So
I'm just reading what's on the list.
I mean, what that means, because no one will understand.
I understand because I put it on there.
So randomly on Twitter, for some reason, in Flying's fandom, Infia, they just randomly were like, let's do a growl challenge, because Sunghyub does that and why not type thing. So
it's fun.
Right. So many of us just did it because we could and put it on a hashtag. We didn't say, oh, let's do something with it. We were just being goobers, and like that's what we did. So then some of the people who have been in the fandom a long time, they're like, oh, well, let's like make it a track, like a song. Like, we'll have to see. It's gonna be out in just a few days. So they even made cover art of 2 versions.
Yeah, it's like as official as you can get for a Twitter made thing.
Like cover art, track teaser, like, I mean, they're going all out. It's cracking me up. So And I'm going to be a part of it because I did a growl. So who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, it's your claim to fame. You knew her when, people.
You, essentially.
Now we can say we are on the podcast with Sky.
Yeah.
Guy. As
She's
featured.
Just like everybody else.
Featured on NVS.
Okay. Congratulations, Sky. Your debut is upon us.
Don't really care.
You've worked hard for this. So on the 3rd, there's a new girl group debuting called Signature, but spelled with a C, not an S. DKB, as we have them back, Everglow, and G-Friend.
Yeah,
So
it's girl group heavy.
So if you like girl groups, Monday the 3rd, are you in for a treat? Oh, and it continues on. Because on the 5th, I'm sure many people will be happy to hear that Luna's having a comeback. Because
they gotta stand them.
yeah, they can't stand Luna. And Hash Swan also. On the 6th, it's a Bandit, but with a V.
Yeah.
Bandit. Has a digital release coming out, and the somewhat controversial Icon comeback. That's like a whole episode on itself, so I'm not even gonna go into that.
I would like to just say, go check out their the YouTube channel, because they've all been releasing like little individual stuff. Like Bobby just put out something, and June has like a serious like rocker vibe song on there now, and like the videos are great and the songs are fantastic. If June would put out a whole album of that, I would like be right there in a second. It's so good. So good.
Okay.
So on the 10th, we have Rocket Punch and the Boys both have a comeback, so that'll be interesting. On the 11th, Cherry Bullet. They haven't been doing too much, so I'm like intrigued to see what they come up with. On the 12th, it's boy groups are making a comeback here. We got ATEEZ with a Japanese album. A boys ATEEZ having a Japanese album. Pentagon is having another comeback. And then on Valentine's Day, very astute for their general vibe, their bedroom vibe, Monsta X has a Valentine's Day comeback.
It's their full English album.
Full English album. I'm sure there's going to be some sexy bangers, literally, on that, because their English songs are nasty.
Yeah.
And I am here for it. And then on the 21st, BTS has a comeback. So that's like all that's on my list. So there might be more. There might be some we missed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and stuff always gets like announced like a week before it's coming out, and you're like, oh, okay.
Well, here at the end of January, when this is coming out, anyway, in between time, between when this is going to come out, Jay and 88 Rising.
Oh, also there's
part of his age.
Yeah. I love everything, like 88 Rising lately, just everything they touch, it's, it's so good. So good.
And then speaking of our K-pop daddy, Jongdae and Dynamic Duo had another collab that came out, so that's pretty exciting too.
There's a couple people that I can't remember their scheduled potential Februarys.
And
Dreamcatcher's potentially coming.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
And one of my K-band babies, IZ, they're coming out with a single right at the end of January. So.
And Hyolan.
Oh, that's
the
song with
that's
Crucial
like this.
Star.
That's like on Friday,
like
isn't it?
On my radar because of Crucial Star, so I was like, "Oh, Crucial Star."
Yeah, it's on Friday.
And then everything else is like Hyolan with Crucial Star. I'm like,
end of them.
So that'll be out. That'll be out before this episode is. So you should check that out as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the haps in the K-pop world as of this date. So yeah, thank you for listening.
Respect your idols.
Respect your idols.
Yeah.
The people too. They're
Respect
people.
yourself too. Like,
listen,
come on.
They're people before they're performers. And have some, exactly. Have some respect for yourself.
It hurts you too. Like,
it hurts you more than it hurts them. They still get money at the end of the day, like, because they're still doing their job. Your job isn't them.
And if you don't want to stand them anymore, that's fine.
Just quietly
walk
away.
Like, you can walk away. And you know what? You could sell your stuff. Like, get some of your money back. Like, sell it to other fans.
Yeah.
Don't just have a big hissy fit and destroy your crap. Like, come on.
Yeah, you can.
Come
you
on.
Can, you know,
get your money back.
I always stick. You know, I know this is trite, but just stick to what your mom always said. If you don't have anything nice to say, just don't say anything. Just leave quietly and stand someone else. Like, just move on with your life. It's someone getting married. It's nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you whatsoever. Anyway, this has been another episode of the Certified Nunas. Talking about K-pop, J-pop, C-pop, whatever pop, all the music. We love it. We hope you love it. You can listen to us wherever you listen to us now, but if you want to mix it up, we're on Apple iTunes, we're on Spotify, we're on Podbean, we're on Stitcher, we're on Google, we're on YouTube, and if you go to certifiednunas.com, in addition to some fun articles and links and all sorts of good stuff, that is where you can listen to all of our episodes with all of the links to anything we reference, all the time codes if you're into that sort of thing, and everything there. We've also got some sick merch. Hell yeah, sick merch. That's right. Sick Certified Nunas. Actually, a lot of it's not even like, it's not just like our logo. Like, we have some fun stuff on there. We have a cute little wand pill thing on there.
It's adorable.
It's pretty cute. So yeah, you should check that out. And if you want to support us in other ways, you can always go to ko-fi.com/certified Nunas and become an official sponsor of this podcast. We love all our sponsors, and we thank them regularly, usually in person on Twitter, because we're very active on Twitter. You can find us on Twitter, on Tumblr, on Instagram, even on Facebook. We're at Certified Nunas is what we always, that's just, we claimed it, it's ours. So you can find us there, and we hope to hear from you soon. Oh, and if you want to email us, certifiednunas@gmail.com. We reply promptly to all emails. So if you have any questions, let us know, and we'd love to talk. So come see us on Twitter, and we hope you have a fantastic week. Keep loving K-pop. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.